Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Frankly FM84. Big thank you for choosing another one of my videos right here on YouTube. If you were with us yesterday, you would have seen that we have kicked off the brand new series that you are currently watching. We are out in Paris, managing Paris FC. We are going to try and build with the children of the French Revolution. Only under 21s or 21 and under players will be signed in this save as we look to progress the club to come out of the shadow Paris Saint-Germain. So yesterday we showed you the club, we showed you the finances that will be available once we get going. We said we were going to progress until the end of the January transfer window, and in today's episode that is exactly what we have done. It is now the 2nd of February 2022, and as you can see, there are players that have both come into and have left the club. So let's jump straight on in and show you who they are. Brace yourself for this. There is a lot of change coming at this club, and we are going to start off with the players that have gone out. So you can see that all the transfers were done before we signed up until this point, where Ousmane Kante was the first player to leave the club. He has gone to Ibiza. That's a bit of a song title, but that is the actual club that came in. £28,500 we got for him. Khalid Boutaib went to Wydad Casablanca for 92,000. Ousmane Camara went to Cagliari for 1.1 million. And then the most random transfer happened. Vincent Demacone went to Inter Milan, a 38-year-old goalkeeper who I'm not too sure why they came in and put a bid in for him, but they did. They came along. They paid £1,600 for a 38-year-old goalkeeper, and they took him off of our hands. And then Miguel Alfarella went to US Orleans on a loan with a £4,900 total fee. So that was the players that left the club. We recouped, it says 1.2 million, but obviously some of that was in the July transfer window and the summer transfer window. So we started then to regenerate our players. So the first player that came into the club as one of our signings was Oumar Traore. He is a striker. He's 19 years old, and I think he has some key attributes that we are looking for. Not the quickest, not the best acceleration. He does have good dribbling, good first touch, good finishing. Now, the other thing I was going to say is, even though we are signing under 21s or 21 and below, we are highly guided by our scouts in this save. So if you see players that pop up 9 times out of 10 with this one, we are also going to try and lean on realism. We aren't just going to go to clubs and start throwing bids out there. Basically, the scouts are going out looking at the youth teams of clubs like Monaco, PSG, Lyon, Saint-Etienne, Lille, those kinds of teams, Nice. And we're going to try and pick up players that we think we can develop for the future. Obviously, as I said, this is called the Children of the Revolution. We are going to try and build the team based on what our scouts think are going to be the children of the French Revolution. So let's have a little look at his history then. Where did we pick him up from? We picked him up from Nimes, as I said. Nimes' second team. He was playing for them. Our scouts thought he had a lot of potential, so he was the first signing. Noah Cornely was the next one. He is a midfielder, plays through the centre. If we have a look, where did we pick him up from? Montpellier. So there's another team that we went and bought from Ligue 1. We paid, 145,000 for Traore. We paid 30,000 for Cornely, and then we went and actually made quite a big signing from Cagliari. Alessandro Tremoni. He's a French under-17 international. He's 18 years old, and he's one that we spent quite a bit of money on. He has really good pace and acceleration for his age. He has good technique, passing, good teamwork, vision, work rate. I think he's a player that once we get going in this save, even though he's 18 years old, coming from an Italian team, he's going to really start rolling and get us moving. The next player we went and signed was Brighton Fugay. He cost £275,000 from Lyon. He's a versatile player, and that's the other thing we're going to look for with this save. Players who can play off the left wing, the right wing, up front. Players who can play multiple positions and try and help the team in various different ways, because we're going to need it quite a lot as we go forward and sell off the experience. We're going to need players who can fit into gaps where we have them. But again, you can see that the scout spotted he has good pace of 13, acceleration, agility, he has good work rate, passing, technique, dribbling 14, finishing 14, first touch of 12. So he's a player I think who is ready to go straight into the first team, and a player who hopefully will help us out in the long run. Back to it then, because there is a lot to get through here. The next one is Mayo Hayes. He's a centre-back who can also play as a left-back or a right-back, 19 years old, 6'3", tackling of 14, jumping reach of 16. He has good heading of 12, acceleration, agility, balance, jumping reach, natural fitness, pace. It's all there. And this is a player, I think, at the age of 19 who can go on to break into our first team. He's come from Lens second team. £54,000 was the fee. I've got a feeling he will be in the starting lineup soon. We then bought Marley Felix for £650,000 from Lyon. And again, this is a player who is 6 foot tall, but he has tackling of 11, technique of 12, marking of 12, passing, heading, first touch. All the physicals are there that we need. I think with a little bit of fine tuning, this is a player that we can really lean on in the future. Nail Jabby was the next one from Clermont, cost £450,000. A 20-year-old who, again, I think he's ready to just go straight into the first team, can play a role at the club straight away. When you look at all his attributes, he's only 5'9", so not the tallest, but he has good stamina, acceleration, first touch, long shot, passing, technique. He has been capped at under 19 level, so he has experience as an international footballer too. And if we look at his stats whilst playing for Clermont, he got half a season in for them before we bought him. He was running at a 7 average rating for the season, so hopefully he can go and continue that in our team. The last player that we signed then in the transfer window is Matteo Cordovan. He came from Angers for £165,000. Can play as a defender, a midfielder in both the central and attacking roles, I think that is. Is that defensive midfielder and midfielder central? Yes. So can fill 3 roles all through the spine of the team. He has a lot of potential in some of those roles. I mean, if we look at him maybe as a centre back, that is maybe the position that he was scouted for. But at 5'9", I think he will be moving forwards. If we go to the DM, you can see that the stats are there that we need. So tackling, marking, concentration, decisions, positioning, work rate. Everything that you probably needs, again, a little bit of fine-tuning, but these are players that we are bringing in at the age of 19. He's a raw ball of talent that hopefully we can start to fine-tune. So that was the transfer window. How many was that? So a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 players coming in. We had 5 players leaving the club. So what can we do? The first half of the season, don't forget, we had to play the players that were already at the club. We put them into a new formation, so I'm not too sure how it was going to gel. Let's have a little look at the competitions tab and see how we have been getting on. And you can see we are top of the league. And not just top of the league, we are actually performing really, really well. We are top from Toulouse by 5 points. We have a goal difference of 28, and we are playing some impressive football. We're going to come back and cover the league in just a second though, but let's show you the finances and what's happened in terms of the money that we've just spent. So the club balance is now £3.3 million. We have a transfer budget left of £335,000 and we are spending £87,000, but we have £92,000 in terms of the wage budget. So we are doing absolutely fine with the finances. We're not going to put the club in trouble, and if we continue on the path that we are going, we are going to get promoted, and that money is going to be vital as to not breaking the bank in League 2. Looking then at the club vision page, we are now untouchable already. We have an A+ in terms of our rating. They have nothing to be criticising us for. In terms of developing players using the club's youth system, they're reserving judgment for that. We have promoted a few players into the first team, but I'm not 100% sure they're ready, but hopefully the experience can help them to build. Work within the wage budget required. We are on course with that. Ligue 2 top half finished. They're delighted. We are top of the league. And Coupe de France reached the 10th round at a minimum. They are pleased with that as well. So by the end of next season, they wanted us to win promotion to Ligue 1. I've got a feeling that if we carry on playing the football and some of these signings we've made help the club, we could achieve that at the end of this season. So let's go back to the competitions tab then. In fact, no, before we do that, let's show you the schedule and show you how we have got on. We started our season off with a testimonial here, firstly. So a 5-1 victory in that, and then a 4-1 victory in the friendly. And then the league game, to start us off, was a 2-0 loss to Grenoble, which isn't exactly the greatest start. However, then we got on a roll, and we got on a roll big time. So we won 4-0 in the second game. Fadiga getting to Manduki and Camara. Le Havre was up next. We got a 3-3 draw in a crazy game here. They scored after 9, 27 and 14 through Aliou and Bar. Then Fadiga, Gay and Gori scoring the goals for us. And then after that, we went on a run, which saw us not lose a game until the 30th of October. So we beat Auxerre 1-0, Ajaccio 2-0, beat QRM. I'm not too sure what that stands for, but we beat QRM 4-2. We beat Guingamp 4-0. Beat FCSM, again, not sure of the abbreviation, but we beat them 2-0. Beat Nîmes 2-0. We beat Niort 4-1 with goals from Kante, Hanin and Gori. And then to finish off that run, we beat Nancy 2-1, Pau 1-0, Toulouse 2-0, and then finally we did Toulouse as we lost to Dijon 2-0 on the road, and Cyril Manduki was sent off. So at that point, we had been on a run of games where we weren't conceding many goals and we were winning quite convincingly. It then got a little bit scrappy around November when we got into some of the cup competitions. We had a 3-0 win, against Rodez, a 5-1 win against US Granville. We then drew 3-3 against Caen. We beat Sedan Ardennes 4-0 in the Coupe de France 8th round. Bastia 5-2 in the league. We lost to VAFC 3-1 in the league. We beat Lens 6-2 in the Coupe de France 9th round. Amiens 3-0 in the league. We then won 4-1 in the Coupe de France 10th round against Avalanche. Beat Dunkirk. Oh no, we drew 2-2 with Dunkirk. I'm getting ahead of myself. We didn't beat Dunkirk. We drew 2-2. Beat Havre AC 1-0 and beat Auxerre 4-3 before finally we hit the transfer window deadline and we beat Auxerre 2-0 in the Coupe de France 11th round. So we've been on a cup run. We're on a league run. Let's jump into the competitions tab and show you just how we are getting on in the league. So this is the full league table then. Played 22, won 16, drawn 3, lost 3, 28 goal difference and 51 points. We are absolutely flying. We have given ourselves a real good shot at getting out of this division at the first time of asking. Let's have a little look at the player stats then and break it down. So in terms of goals, our top goal scorer is Lamine Gay. He has got 12 goals, but Charbonnier is leading the way on 16. In terms of most assists, Florent Hanin and Maxime Bernauer, 10 and 7 respectively. They are leading the way in that category. Gaëtan Charbonnier is leading the way in terms of most shots, but we aren't represented on that list. He also has most Man of the Match awards, but he's being chased by Florent Hanin on 5 and Ousmane Camara on 4. Most key passes, Florent Hanin, 99 key passes from 16 appearances is quite impressive. We also have Jonathan Iglesias just sneaking into the list there, tied for 4th, and he has 66 from 19 appearances. Best pass completion isn't that important. Most tackles won. Thibaut Campanini and Cyril Manduki are representing the club on those stats. So 42 tackles won for Campanini from 12 appearances and Manduki 37 from 19. Most clean sheets, Filipovic, 27 years old, goalkeeper from Croatia, 10 clean sheets, 22 appearances, 25 goals conceded, 1.14 per 90 minutes. Fewest conceded is Maxime Dupé, conceded 12 from 17 appearances, and our goalkeeper actually isn't on the list. In terms of the other stats you can see, fouls, Lamine Gay leads the way with that. Expected goals, Diaby Fadiga 10.06. Florent Hanin has 3 penalties scored from 4 attempted, and tackles per 90 minutes, Thibaut Campanini leading the way in terms of that. So a brilliant start to our league campaign. We are really, really flying. Let's have a look at the squad then to round this episode out. If we go across to the assistant report, The assistant now reckons that our best 11 is Filipovic, Hanin, Bamba, Ndie, Campanini, Name, Manduki, Iglesias, Lopez, Gori, and Fadiga. So not too many changes there from the players that have come into the club. Our assistant is sticking with the experienced players. But if we go to the squad and show you the players now, in terms of the nationalities we are starting to come through with obviously the French signings. We have the Croatian goalkeeper, and we still have the bulk of players, although we are trying to move some of them on. So we've got Julia Vogi, Bamba, Gori is only on loan, so he will be going back. Manduki, Name, Gay is on loan, so he will be going back. Ndie, and then at the bottom there we got Masio, So, and Jonathan Iglesias. So we're starting to trim the numbers of foreign players down. As you can see, in terms of potential, the signings that we are bringing in, some of them, like Marley Felix here, is the best in terms of potential at the club. Nail Jabby as well. Anybody else? Cornerly. Who else did we bring in? Brayton, Fogo, Fogy, Fogay? I'm going to go with Fogay. 4.5-star rating. So, again, as I said, we were going off the scouting reports. Scouts are telling us what players to bring in, and we have been doing that. So then, that is going to wrap up this episode. We have now gone through the January transfer window. We have got the first batch of players in. Can they have an impact in our running on this first season? Can we, at the first time of asking, get promotion to Ligue 1? Can we start to knock on the door at Paris Saint-Germain and say, we are in the big time too? If you want to find out, you're going to have to come tomorrow. Alternatively, you can just set yourself a reminder by hitting the like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. If you've done all of that already though, go and check out another video on the channel, and I will catch you very, very soon.